This is your timeline of moving in life. So you did something, in a base of that doing, you got to the position. But if you see it where the planet is, the planet actually trajectory towards the Earth, okay? As you see it, the planet looks this way. So when it moves the planet, right now you see like the planet moved from here, moved to this angle, because this angle is pretty straightforward, as you see it. But this angle looks like the planet is go backward. For us, that energy of going backwards this is what's called the retrograde motions when it begins. If you pay the attention at the number 3, that is in the middle of the retrograde. And then when we go in and we see at number 4, that retrograde is more powerful. And when we see at number 5, as you see at the number 5 and number 1, the angle is the same. What's the difference though within this? What's going on with this differences in there? This might be not a permanent marker.
Permanent? No, it's not permanent.
No, this may be not dry erased that I'm talking about. I'm trying to erase it. Go away. Don't worry about it, we'll clean it later.
Yeah.
So, talking about this this is how it actually looks for you. You're moving forward in life. You go back into these points. That is where the retrograde stays there. Usually that planet of the retrograde stays for a day or two. You're shifting your consciousness. What happens is you're moving from this and you stop. You're like, I'm not going in the right time. I'm not going in the right path. I'm not going into the right directions. I need to redirect. I need to do something because whatever happens between here and here, something is not correct. So whatever that, as you see it in the previous graph, whatever happens in your timeline, it's known as the retrograde inner work. So you get in the messages. You get in the messages, and the messages they begin right here. But the messages that you're going to receive, they're coming at the point Z. That's what a lot of the people don't understand. So you begin to get the messages from point Z, and I'll tell you why. So you're learning from point Z, right here, and the messages ends at this point, right in here, which is point A. Now from this point A, you're getting the messages backwards. So right now, whatever happening is right now within life, because right now we are in the Mercury retrograde season, you're getting the messages now. You go in Z, Y, X, and you go all the way back to A. Then Mercury goes direct. And you go from A, B, C, all the way down to Z. And this is why the retrogrades are misunderstood of that energies inside of you. So basically, if you look at it now, whatever you did from A to Z up here, because it is A, that point is also A, in your timeline, okay? You redo the whole thing. That can be correlated into your timeline, that can be correlated with the way you're thinking, the way of processing of the energies that is inside of it. So when we are in a retrograde season, you have to always remember that when the station retrogrades begins, you're going to the point Z. You don't have to create any actions here. The actions that it's going to be here, it is mostly about the lessons that you're going to receive, informations that you're going to receive. You're not worried about any actions right now. This period from Z to A is when the most people make the biggest mistakes in their lives. Because they see point Z is like, yes, they haven't learned anything about to get to point Z. This is how you get in directions from the universe. Because if you look at them in the previous diagram, in there, the planet is moving forward. But the gravitational field towards us is changed. The gravitational field creates this. You see it, that other graph, the way it is? That's the graph. That's the timeline that it's written in the stars. Because when you point the planet, when it goes to retrograde, towards us, towards the Earth, and for us, it looks like goes backwards. Okay? When we move, it's written the timelines. All the planets is there, all the retrograde planets. So wherever your planet is, during that retrograde seasons, there, it draws actually this. So this is what I was drawing it to you. If you put a straight line in here, you go into that straight line, you stop here, you relearn everything that it needs to be, and then you go in directions. This is a very powerful to understand and not act during the retrogrades. Spirituality-wise, this is when you actually getting the most important information. During the retrograde season, you learn energies, you hear spiritual energies, you see the visions. The only thing is, when you are at that point Z that I was talking about, you need to understand you see the end first. You see the situations that comes first. And then it's like, okay, this is gonna be my visions. This is gonna be what I'm gonna be working on. This is the things that's happening. Now I have to learn how to make it happen. And this is why you go back to see what makes it happen. It's interruptions within the timeline. It's called loops. And this is why some people go to those hoops and loops so many times. So astrology-wise, okay, depends where the Mercury is retrograde, for example. He gives you a specific lessons inside of it. And those lessons there, go in it inside of it, okay? You get the download first. What do you do with the download? You have to open it, that download that it comes in at point Z, read it. And you go in and read the whole book. When I read the whole book, I read the whole situations, so now you know everything that you need to know. And then you're going to be creating the actions. You begin from point A to get to the point Z. That the universe is leading you to. And when the interruptions within your timeline is happening like this, what do? You feel disfocused, you feel disoriented, you feel like, what is happening to me? Why there is interruptions of the communications where there is a Mercury retrograde? You gotta be focused on a point Z. That's all that is. They're shifting your focus within your consciousness. You feel like some of the people just, all of a sudden they shut up. They don't know, they talk, they don't talk. People don't call you. You're trying to make a phone calls to do things. It's like phone doesn't work. You send in an email for certain things. You got nothing, no responses. Why? The communications of Mercury retrograde, it's to be internal from inside of you. But your luck with this is going to be about when you understand these important situations when it comes time for actions. When the Mercury retrograde stations direct, what he does is like, I put you on the spiritual journey, I send you back. I give you the energy of going by. And out through that energy of going by, I make you to do evaluations. You to remove things that doesn't serve purpose. You to go ahead and talk to yourself. You to go ahead and improve yourself. Remove the mistakes. Redo the things better than before. Regain your strength and better than before. Go on vacation. Relax. That's what this energy is pushing you forward. So you can understand all this. Once you understand that, all of a sudden when he shifts directs, he shifts your conscious and you're like, I learned what I need to do. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Because if you get this into one straight line, it's from A to Z. Okay? But during this process, because this is an A to Z timeline, that makes that loop. Without these loops, we're not going to have a progress. Without this loop, you're not like, hang on a second, what I'm doing. It's a big time reevaluations for your own self with those planets. It is a big time of you to sit down with yourself, talk to yourself. This is at a time when you're actually getting the most important messages. Talking more about Mercury retrograde. He's 4 times of the year. Usually he's a retrograde, like half of the year. You're evaluating, but you're going to be shifting from a consciousness, focus on the spiritual realm, and focus in the material realm. But during this process, the whole thing right here, that combines both. That loop combines both. This is your actions that the lesson begins. You did something between this and this period. And the way you find that period is when you go here, an astrology wise, and you find where the Mercury is going to be stationed direct. And you go back and you see what day Mercury was right here on that timeline. And that's how actually you understand the lessons that goes on for you. So lesson begin here and you made a mess right here. And now Mercury says, okay, I'll tell you what the mess was. You did this because this happened. You did this because this happened. You did this because of this happened. You did this because of this happened. Now you understand what it does. Now you have to go ahead and recorrect yourself. That is one of the internal processes that you're going to be experiencing within the new energy much faster right now. And that energy of this re-reflections within yourself is going to be very powerful. You're going to be destroying things from within you just by thinking. But it's going to be require one thing, which, you are so totally right. A, action. Z, Zen. When you Zen go there, and you are happy that you achieved what you wanted to achieve in life. And when you wanted to achieve in life, it's where it comes in, consciousness. Mercury works particularly with your consciousness inside of you. Mercury is the messenger of the God. Yes?
I received a message last night, so what does that mean?
That means like right here. First I'm going to be talking about this. I'll explain a little bit about those messages. So, you received the message right here. Do you have to act upon right now?
No.
Why?
Because I have to give it time.
Okay. How do you feel about it?
I feel that it's, I want to use the right word. I feel that it's appropriate to receive that message.
Okay. How long have you been waiting for that message?
I haven't been waiting for it.
It just happened on its own, right?
No, it's not that I'm waiting for it. It appeared because of something that answering something for me. It's not that I was waiting for it.
Okay. Same thing happened to me.
Yeah.
So for example, I was waiting for a bank account confirmations in Spain. In Spain, you can't just open a bank account. So I went to a Deutsche Bank and I opened up an account as an American citizen with the American passport, with the American social security number. And I have no answers. Today on my phone, we're sitting with Rich, phone bips. Mr. Vesselinov, you can do a wire transfers now with your Deutsche Bank account. Congratulations. I wasn't stressed about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I know that in about 3 weeks, I'm going to be working with that Deutsche Bank. Do I have to do something about that right now? Do I have to worry about what's going to happen right now, right here? No. All I have to do is sit and what Rich has been doing in the past 2-3 days, observe the energies and observe everything. Observing, it's very powerful. But the question is what do you see in there? What kind of energies do you see in there? Now later on we're going to talk about, in the afternoon, we're going to talk about what do you see within the energies. To look at it, the both sides of the coins. You're not seeing it only the positive, but also see the negative side. That is going to be helping you within. Because if you look at it right here, that is the coin that we've been talking about. This right here in the middle, this is the one face, and this is another face of the coin. You see the both things inside of you. But if you're not looking at it within the one, you're never going to understand what is it all about within your consciousness. And it's very important about what you're telling it right now to yourself. Within the new energies, you're going to find something mysterious. Things happen lightning fast. Before, if you think you were doing fast, let's say twin flame, now the things are just like.
Yep. It's like my $200 ticket. I was like, please universe, I can afford $600. Please give me something less, 100 or 200. And all of a sudden, $200 ticket. Oh wow. I was like, yes, thank you.
Here, does any of you have any questions about this?
Yeah, is that supposed to be like that, or is it supposed to be like up like this? Turn around like this. Because you started
No,
with.
it's the way it is. And I will explain why. Your timeline is this. And it continues here.
Oh, it skips that.
But then what is
Yes.
the other picture that you have? Why is this like this instead of like this? Why is it like this?
Because it's just a different perspective of the planet side. So if you put it like the previous pictures that you're saying, in there, you're talking about this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you look at it, they see the planet from above, but we are right here.
Okay.
You see, this is just the top view of the solar system, so you can picture it the way this is.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Okay.
Is the one thing if you see something from above and something
So
towards
you're
it.
looking at that picture is from above like this.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But on the sky, it appears like on the right, like it's just really like you
Yes.
can track with planet.
It appears
Yes.
on the right. That's why I
We
thought that-
actually, the event horizon is that line. That's visions right here.
That's what Libra is right now. Like
Okay.
you were showing us yesterday.
Yes, that's what this is. That's what we
Okay.
see.
Alright.
Okay? So, but when we look at it of the linear sign, the line, it comes in and it goes forward. This is our timelines that you can see as the graphics in your chart, in your life.
But it's
This
the
is
other
what
way
you do.
around because you have it like this now. You have it like this, looking from above, then it will be like this, and then you have it like this in front of us. I don't know if I explain.
That's how it look like.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay?
So,
This is our view towards Mercury. Okay? But if you, let's say for example here, Okay?
This week, 3 weeks.
But now if you look at it from like this, it's gonna be look different if you draw that line right here on the other side. But if you look at it from this point of view, and I'm drawing that line, see that's what the line is. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
But if you look at it from above, okay? If you look at it from above, what it that does? Okay? That's what that happens. This is why you're confused. That's what it is giving you. I'm giving you the 2 point of views, so you can see it actually in the gravity field, what's going on of them, because that's what the gravity does. Okay? Change within the gravity field is this position. Because when it goes through the gravity field, it sets you back within the gravity, it sets you back within the situations. This is why when you go to the point Z, you feel like I've been there before. I was there before. I know what's going on before. I know I'm going back. Retrograding in Bulgarian language means something very important. It comes from the word gradya, which is mean I create, I build.
But it's still upside down. That's the way I see it. Let me show you what I'm looking at for what you understand, what I'm saying. For some reason, I'm asking you this. Okay, let me grab this right here. This is what you have right here. You have this in the other one. It goes like this, right? You're showing it to us from our perspective. We're looking at like this. Okay? And then you're saying that that's from above, but it's not like this. It's not like this. It's like this from above. So then, if you put this down like this, it doesn't look like that because it's the other way around.
All right. Now I want
Maybe I have a dyslexia of some kind.
Yes, that's what it creates your.
Something.
Because if you look at it from a point of view, how many point of views you can have in space?
Oof, a lot of
What is up and what is down in space? What is left and what is right in space?
Everything.
Okay? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay?
Unless you look
That's
at the
what we're
North
talking
Star.
about. Yeah.
I hope so.
Because if you look at it exactly this
There has to be
picture,
a point of
this is the sun.
center where we can go.
Okay? This is the sun right here.
Okay.
If I put you right here and you're gonna have point of view this way. This is a Mercury, this is Earth. Okay? And I put you right in here and you're looking towards the Earth. How's this graph is gonna be look for you?
The other way around than what you have it on the other one?
Ah! There you go. Now you got it.
I got that from the beginning, but it just didn't make sense. I thought that
But
was
now it
right.
makes sense for you?
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, now it makes sense.
Okay, so what I'm talking about, retrograde, retrograde, great. What kind of great are you doing to yourself? You know, if you look at the English language.
Upgrades.
Recreate.
Anywhere else?
Steps. Action. Positive action.
Going above, below. Grade. One grade up, one grade down. Grados.
Recreate. That is the actual meaning of all that. I recreate myself, my consciousness. That's what Mercury retrograde is misunderstood from a spiritual standpoint of perspective. You know this. When your life is screws up, Mercury retrograde comes in, and you're like, I have to go into the spirituality. This focus within material life and burn out. And all of a sudden you shift your consciousness and you're like, I need to study, I need to go to a spiritual center, I need to go to church. I need to go look inside. That is the dark energy. This is when you reprogram yourself. You're rebuilding yourself. You do things from within your consciousness that's going to help you. As a twin flame, that is the moment when you realize your actions as a twin flames what they are. and what you need to improve, what you need to correct. You're a chaser, you're a runner, you find out the things inside of you that is going to be working. As a personality, on a personal level, you see what is your pitfalls now. Where are you failing? What do you need to redo in that? So for example, construction level, you build the wall, but the wall was like this, it was a straight wall. Now it's like, what do I need to do? Oh, I'm just gonna tie the one rope to the one end, to the other end, and I can know that my wall is gonna be straight. It's not gonna be fixed in there. There is also a programming inside your subconscious of past regrets, retrograde. There's a lot of things that goes on with that, the regrets. What are you regretting in life? Because you're regrading yourself, you're recreating yourself. This power of now within the new energy is asking you for actions. Totally actions. And you might gonna feel like you're gonna be asked for certain actions over beyond your wild imaginations, but you're gonna be seeing those. You're gonna be having these masculine divine energies. They're gonna be combined with your own feminine energies. You're gonna be combining your intuitions that it goes in with the authority of you. That's the purpose of Mercury retrograde. He's the first planet close to the sun. He's the one authority in there. But the way the correlations between the sun and Mercury is pretty much the same correlations between the Earth and the Moon. If you look at it within those.
That I understand.
Okay, the correlations is now to the Moon is our satellite. But the planets are all satellites of the sun. ¿Esta la problema, señorita?
Attention to visit.
Attention. To the max.
We're kind of talking about.
I have it.
Yeah.
So,
And then I have to remember that I have
Yeah.
to supplement.
Because you're getting lots of triggers during Mercury retrograde, right? Like they're always like,
Yes,
and
they're
like,
always.
just, which part is it then? Is from A to Z, or is this kind of retrograde?
I will explain. That's a very good question. Very good question. Where do you get the pressures out?
Oh, okay.
When do you get a pressure of Mercury retrograde? Actually, right here. So now you put in a pressure, I want to do this, I want to achieve this, and you're fighting, and at the end of the time it's like, I don't know, everything screws up, everything is bad, everything is just this. And you're tossing, you're turning, and you're thinking about it, so it comes into this point, it's like, I learned things wrong. I did all this work for nothing. Okay? And then it's like, you sit down. Did I did something wrong? Did something happen to me? Let me think. What was I was thinking to do all this? Why did it didn't happen? I put so much effort. I put everything was in order. I put everything in.
All the ducks were in a row.
I. Where was the I within the universe? I would see the situations, whereas I with my right consciousness. Why with my mind? Because very important, the Mercury retrograde is the one that talks to your mind and it can be.
Oh.
So right now that pressure that comes in with Mercury retrograde during this point of A that begins inside. You feel the pressure. It's like I'm doing something, but I feel like it's not the right thing. But I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Like, where are we now?
Currently, we're right here.
We're there.
And so on and so on
We're right
and so
there.
on.
Yeah.
Why not over there?
Yeah.
That's when you. Why are we not up there?
No, we already passed that up there.
We passed that.
Yeah, you know what this is?
What?
That is when we begin to kind of like working together to come here.
That's like,
Yeah,
that's how I see
that
it.
A.
And
is like,
we went through all the loops and the hoops to be here.
yeah. Right.
Now we're here when
Uh-huh.
we met on 22nd. That's where the Mercury retrograde here.
Oh,
Right.
That's how we got in here.
Oh.
We got to the point Z.
And I would say back then
Uh-huh.
was stinky.
And we have this period from here to here. It's gonna take about 3 weeks. So right now for us, we are gonna be dealing with this kind of like portions when we're all together.
Like a conscious analysis, right?
Yes, conscious analysis. And it's a very beautiful that we're meeting on this time. Because we're gonna know that when we comes in here, this area, right in here, in about 3 weeks, we're all gonna be finding the real meaning why we're here. Okay? You may not realize that right now why you're here. You maybe don't know why you're here yet.
There's many reasons why I'm here. There's many.
You'll find it, you'll see. But the fruits, right now, you're like, I want a mango. Yeah, but they're still green.
Still green.
All right, they're still green.
So don't bite it.
So I have to wait. Oh, the mangoes got good. Oh, now I can cut it, and I can use and I can eat the mango. For example. But this is what was in this moment you're gonna redirect directions in your life. Because your directions in the divine directions is to recorrect the timelines. There is 3 ways we talk about it. Rich and Soul about this. 3 paths. There is no wrong path.
Just 3.
All paths leads back to a one point, the point of creations, because the Creator made you in His image. But the difference is when you create with the universe, you go into this energy and you know what's going on. You know when to create and when not to create. You know when to worry, when not to worry. You know, you put so much effort in here, and it's like, okay, I know why I put this effort, and I know why the things doesn't work out, and I know what is it. This is why in the Mercury retrograde it stays. Don't start in your relationships. Don't start at the new things because you don't know what you're doing.
Could we end anything? Like an old relationship? Like could I continue with my divorce? Or is this no good?
No, this is actually you're evaluating right now. Like, what are you going to? You're gonna get directions. What are you gonna do after the divorce? You're gonna get this energy, and when it comes in here in direct mode, you're gonna know what to do with it. If that's what this it's related to. Whatever your issue you have right now in life. Let's say you started something about a month ago. A month ago we were here. Then we came, there was a lot of, going down the hill. Things don't go well, right? When you come down here. So if you're here, if you picture yourself as a person, this is your head. And you are moving here. What's happened here?
Out of balance.
Everything is upside down.
Ah,
But now you're walking, right?
amen.
You're walking, and guess what? You're loving this. You find the balance in here. But this process right here, nobody likes it. Nobody wants it. How about this right here? Right? Because
Is it a good
everything
thing to
goes
wear a
wrong.
hat while you're going the other way around?
Safety hat? Safety hat. Okay. I think you should be more like a Mario. Okay?
Oh,
You should be more like a Mario. But if you look at it,
Just wear
this,
This is what I'm having to guess.
this is what it says, it's moving forward. You're moving forward ahead in the time and space. And this is what you're learning the lesson. You make the things wrong. You don't beat yourself up. But right here, at this point right here, I don't know if everyone sees it, but this point right here, that it says retrograde. That is it when you learn lessons from life. That is it when you get downloads. This is when you evaluate things. This is the most precious time that you can actually do to your own self, spiritually, mentally, physically, on any level. But the most important is your spirituality. That is a reconnect back into the universe, reconnections, and get messages and downloads. And that is at the moment when somebody comes in, it says like, I know you have problems, they're gonna be fixed. Bye.
Thank you.
And you're like,
Appreciate it.
Wow. It's gotta be so.
what just happened? You go into the store, you have a problem, personal problem. You're just sitting there and you're overhearing conversations about the same problem. And somebody just explained how they solve the same problem. You get the messages. All of a sudden, you're going out there, you're observing things, and the message is coming to you. You're looking to other people, you're looking to the energies, you're looking to your own self, and you get the most important messages that you have the issues. As long as you understand the issues right here, you understand what that is going to leading it into your path. That is the most important learning curve you will actually ever do with Mercury retrograde. Within the new energies, actually, this is a destroy your thinking, destroy the things. Let the tower hit, let the house crumble, let the situations goes down, let the money get lost. Why? There was no proper actions here, the same situations inside. The relationship was good? No, it wasn't good. That's what I found. The finances was not great oriented. They want to crumble. So you can learn the lessons of what you need to do. Your energy was not good. Why? Because you haven't think right. Your soul is out of place. Now it is.
This is like the universe is speaking to us throughout this period.
Yes.
On how to fix it. So that's what.
Exactly. And this is why when we are in the retrograde season, specifically the big planets, they are doing a lot of to us. Okay? We went last year 6 months retrograde period when Mars sank. It took 6 months from here to here. 6 months in Gemini. That was about the masculine energies to learn to be a friends with themselves, with situations, with things. That was a friend's time. Guess who is there right now in the same positions right now in Gemini? Venus. Now Venus is learning the lessons. Yesterday, the Moon and Venus, which we saw last night, they begin to teach us something. Now in the retrogrades, we have this. But into the normal situations, we don't have this. This here and this here is the same line, timeline. When the planets are direct, they just keep on going. And now there is two planets that are meeting here. What does that tell you? Oh, you have more things to put together from within you. You have more situations that you have to get into there. But when a Mercury retrograde is attached to other planets, that it is when you get messages for certain things. I guess what happened is that before we had the Mercury retrograde, when I was moving forward, he was coming in together with the North Node. The North Node and the South Node are known as head of the dragon and tail of the dragon. Whatever you eat with the head, that was going to come out in the end, the tail. It is talking about the karma. Whatever you do, that's what you're going to get.
That's
And-
about the purpose, right? Like,
Yes.
what you said.
So right now, it is a very powerful within the new energies that we are getting these messages. Those are very divine messages. They are very powerful, and they're talking about the situations there is on earth. To have these new energies are coming. If you feel the new energies inside of you, if you feel renewed, if you feel a much greater than before in your consciousness, you're going to be doing things like, may sound crazy for others, but you're going to be looking at things inside of you that you're going to be putting a lot of distorted energies from within you in its place. But before it may took you 1 year.
I was wondering because like I just noticed very weird things like before the retrograde, like the timeline felt like shaky or like really unstable. Like is it really connected? Does it happen every time? Because that's the first time I really like it came like I just felt it really like kind of in between. Like,
How do you feel if you're like this?
anxious.
How do you feel if you're like...
that's pretty. Yeah, that's how it felt. Like it's extending in the edge.
Yeah.
And like,
How do you feel like... What happens if you feel like...
I let go. Honestly, I was like,
Right?
they will make it work.
You did not fall down. You didn't die. Nothing will happen to you.
Yeah.
Just a shift of the consciousness. Shift of the point of view. So, if you look at it in a time, within a space,
Sí, ha pasado eso.
there is no up and down. It's only floating. Your perceptions for up and down in the space, in the universe, can change so much. Within our 3D projections minds, yeah, I'm below the horizon. I'm above the horizon, and I have one side and another side. Talking about the coordinate system within a 3D perspective. Okay? But when we're looking at about the timelines that goes on within your life, that doesn't work that way. To look up, down, and so on. Because you have the choices from what point of view are you going to look. Because you may have to go down and see how the planets are going. You may have to go up to see how the planets are going. Or you may have to see them like this to see how they live. But in the space,
I'm so screwed because given that example on my life about different perspective that now I have to pay the consequences and look at it in that way. I used to give that example.
yeah, there you go, the different perspectives in there. And this is why when you feel that anxious about it, guess what? Oh, I'm used to see the planets, they're just like right in front of me. And guess what? You go down, oh, my neck hurts. I'm trying to watch them like this. Or you go down and it's like, oh no, oh, my neck hurts from before. But what's gonna happen is when all this period ends, you're like, oh, I see them good now. Everything is okay. Well, I learned something. I did something. The shift of the consciousness during this period is going to be powerful. And I'm so very happy that we're actually meeting exactly at this moment here. We are right now in here.
The Zen.
Yeah. Did you have the Zen mode before you came here?
I did.
Why do you have the Zen mode now? Now. Why do you have the Zen mode now?
Because we're flowing.
We were at that point. We know what we're going to be doing. This little work of the inner work that we're going to do right now in those few days, that is going to be that right here.
Oh, okay.
Alright? So if you see, for example, the periods, the way they go, okay?
Uh-huh.
So you were prepared to do the things right here, but they fell down, right? You came down to here, to this point, and then everything went really from down. You learn how to use the lower energies to recreate with the lower energies. Whatever is no good, you to transform it. Whatever is not right with you to uplift yourself, you to upgrade yourself, you to do the things. And now if you see the way that goes, you see right here, those are straight lines, right? But if you see that way, of the material standard point of view, we are going to have the same thing like here, right? But where you've been before, like in here, you were standing like this. This is your head. So here is, you go like this, you go down, you're walking upside down. But if you make mistakes here, here's what happens. You are walking like this, and you go, oh, I feel good during Mercury retrograde. Okay, I'm fine. I can create these actions. I understand what's going on, and you're moving with the Mercury retrograde, right? And guess what? Mercury retrograde is finishing. Poof. Oh, I shouldn't say this Mercury retrograde. I shouldn't say this message. I should have not seen this action. I should have not been upside down. Talk about that movie, right? Yeah, this is what happens when the anger gets overcharged. It's a great movie to watch. We're gonna watch that movie, right? So this is what that is. People who does not understand Mercury retrograde, they travel like this because guess what? Everything they do is upside down. Everything in life that they do. They want their own way. Most of the people, they want their own way. They walk in like this during Mercury retrograde.
So how do you know which side of the line are you?
Your actions, your consciousness. You understand it?
Is there any way you can feel like you're doing something wrong, but you must do it
Yeah.
for it to be right later or something?
Do you know why though? You're doing something wrong here to understand the lessons here. That's what this is, the lesson. The importance of the lessons. If you don't screw up,
the inner work part of it,
yes.
do you have to do the whole condensation
Yes.
serpentine? Or can
Yeah.
you just fall like if everyone's saying like
Maybe this is not a skateboard shortcut.
Oh.
fading forward?
Paying forward or falling forward? Yeah.
I have a concept of the fading forward that I'll tell you guys later. It's right on the body.
Yeah, that was the top when we had the falling forward, right?
No, I elaborated a lot more over that. Like for 3.
No, that was the key words for you back in when we had.
That is right here. You fail yourself forward because the forward person that you will be is not the person that you are today. So therefore, you're going to the karma that you're creating today, based on your expectations today, are gonna fail you as you forward. That's my goal.
You must fail in order to move forward. Of the person that you used to
if
be.
you don't have an
or was-
expectation, if you, like he says, if you let go, and you don't have an expectation, and you just follow the road, the yellow brick road, I guess that's how you're not gonna fail yourself forward.
Exactly.
Because you don't create any karma, good
Yes,
or bad. You just
but
pass.
it all comes in with the
That was,
self-awareness.
remember we talked about that too? That's the conclusion.
With the self-awareness, the way that you are asking the questions. Why always like this happen? I feel like I'm coming in here, I'm above the line, doing great, doing okay, and all of a sudden, poof.
But it's not even just your action; it's the expectation of the action that you have that is the issue. That's the
Exactly.
problem. That's the
But when you walk within this and you learn the lesson, you're moving what? What is that says?
So the mental world might be.
Oh, you said something about that, right?
It's
Again.
a local.
Again.
It's a people or
Right.
whatever.
You're moving forward again.
Again. Okay. So
That's
it's
the
like,
path of the evolution.
like a pause.
This is the path of evolutions.
So up until now, we had an expectation. Now let go of all expectations, and we can move forward properly without failing yourself forward. That's what I'm thinking.
So
It's
Dio,
solution to the shortcut.
No, but then
Why
which
did
one
you
you're
have
an
deja
empath?
vu? Did that have
You
something
just
to do with
empath
this?
and
I had the deja vu
empath.
that I was talking to you
No,
about
own it.
exactly about
Yeah.
this.
Own that. You need
Ah.
to walk through life as an empath.
So
not
that
owning
tells
other
me that
people's
I was in the
feelings.
right,
That's
the right
issue.
time,
That's
the right
main
space,
thing
the
to
right
let go.
moments.
Right.
When you have the deja vus
Yeah.
of dreams
Yeah.
before,
And then you think
and they
it's
happen
you.
to
You
you,
can't know. It's not.
that is the one
That's
key.
been an issue for
You are
me.
like,
Yeah.
I've done this before. I've been here before. This is a deja vu of falling forward within the timelines.
Yeah.
You see deep inside. The deja vus are like telling you that, okay, you're back here, moving forward. The part of the deja vu can be all this. Inside of you. You open the book.
The deja vu. But that will be before.
Is that throughout? Do you get deja vus throughout your journey?
I've been getting a lot of deja vus. Sometimes when I drink too much. Sometimes I'm so tired of seeing it that like I see something in the one side, I'm like, okay, enough, I need to sleep. I see something different. I stay in the middle. Something else is coming. I'm okay. You're gonna be halfway asleep, halfway talking about this, okay. It's working, the mind, it's working somehow. But when you get a deja vu that happens at the current moment in time, in place, in space, and you're like inside of you, I've been here before, I've seen this before, I know what it is. Now that is guaranteed from within yourself that you see the things, and you're in the right place in the right time, and there was no wrong things. So here is what's going on. If you go in with the energies, with the right energies from within yourself, you're creating the things with the Creator, because you're creating within the same thing. If you go in against the energies, you're doing your own path, and so one in there, you're learning the lessons. You're not creating anything, you're actually destroying things.
Interfering.
You are actually learning the price that you're paying for not creating. And ultimately, all these lines teaching you the one lesson. Work with the Creator. Who's the Creator? It's you. You're working with the Creator because Creator made you in His own image. The Creator wants you to create. He doesn't want you to destroy. He wants to revalue.
This is a co-creation.
Improve, yes. The
But
co-creation.
that clear is very important for me.
The co-creation.
Yes.
This is it when you see things that we talk about. For example, you know so much knowledge inside of you about something. Do you using everything? Do you using the advanced math when you go to the store to buy groceries? No, but you need the advanced math when you do advanced situations. Do you want to know what the performance of the financial market in the world is? If you don't have no IRA, what would you worry about?
Mm-hmm.
But if you have investments in quite a few mutual funds, you have to look at that. That's what it says, that whatever you have for within yourself, you have to be mindful with the things that you work. Certain things you don't need to know. And this is why you have to stop competing with the Joneses. If you guys understand me. A lot of it, if you look at these positions, there is a lot of stored energy. For example, buying a lot of stuff and you have them in storage. Person I'm talking about me. I wasted so much money in that storage that the value, the practical value of these things in there, I could have bought good things.
You could have bought
Yeah. And the value of those things actually was more emotionally attached to that compared to the things. Okay? But what was my lessons? That the money, at some point, they have no value. I just talked to my cousin from Bulgaria. Okay?
You know how
And
I
you know what he said? I left a job in France for 7,000 francs to come back to Bulgaria to work for 800 because I didn't feel right in the right place. He's like, money's not everything. Okay? And this is what that is. You can have a home. So what is in that home?
If it's empty.
Castle without happiness is nothing.
You know how I see it? It's just like when you are trying to create something that is like outside of the universe, like without the universe, like those things will start to come. So that's really like I know this many relationships also come with times like doing work for them. It's just okay, you did something wrong. That was not the way.
Yes, this is what happened when you're not going with the universe.
That's how
The universe using this to send you back. He destroys everything. How much destruction patterns happens during the retrogrades? Ooh, nobody likes that retrograde. Why nobody likes the retrograde? Because guess what? It destroys things. But as I said before, there will not going to be a Shiva if there is no Kali. That's what this is. And you have to love them both. You have to look from within yourself and understand. You can't put a new base in old beliefs, old foundations, old situations. This is why if you're talking about relationships, you can't bring your old relationships into the new. So otherwise it's a lot of luggage. Okay?
What happens when you stop with the deja vu and I lost my train of thought or dreaming? Because I used to have deja vu, I used to have a lot of dreams when I was younger, and then at a certain point it all stopped. It's like I got disconnected and I went, was I going on the wrong path?
No, you already know the answer inside of you. You said the word, wrong path. You think it is the deja vu, the dreams, the information comes when you're on the right path.
I think so, or
Wonderful.
isn't it like because sometimes like you're not able to get the messages other way than from dreams because you have
You
these
don't act on
notes.
the messages. The messages stop coming when you don't act on the messages.
But maybe she's getting messages different. Maybe you don't need dreams anymore. Maybe you can access those messages.
No.
I know, I was too young when all of that was happening. I've been awakened or in a long time. I just didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know what it was.
This is usually happens when you cannot take it. You cannot take the energies, the heavy energies inside. I know what you're talking about because at the age of 16,
Yes.
I could have read pretty much everybody else's mind that I see their face.
Yes.
I couldn't even go out shopping.
Yes.
I couldn't
Oh
understand.
my
That was
gosh.
a horrible.
Yes. The
It's like
people,
that.
oh.
And I'm going to the guy that it's selling tomatoes. I'm going to the farmers market in Sofia, in Bulgaria. And I'm just walking down.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at, just with the side views, I seen the tomatoes or whatever I want to shop. And I'm walking outside. So I thought all of a sudden I left my hand. I'm like, oh, these are good tomatoes. And I'm going there. I see the guy. And I see him walk. I wanted to kill a tomato, so Okay? Here's the money, but let me tell you something, sir. You're worried about your relative there right now is in the hospital. Let me tell you, everything's going to be okay.
Wow.
How do you know? How did you know? I knew everything that goes on. Okay? I sense things, I sense energies. But can you imagine that you can't even go on the bus? So I was like, you know what? Later on I had to go back into this, hanging on to it. But it wasn't the same intensity. It didn't have it. But it helps me because it was too much. Sometimes when you have things that are way too much, you're disbalanced. There is no balance between the spiritual and material inside of you. You're going from left to right. Usually what the people do is this. I want to work for money, 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 money. What did I got with the money? I'm happy with the money? No, I'm not. I have to work my spirituality. They go doing their spirituality. I'm like, crap, I run out of money. What the hell I'm doing? What is the situations again? So guess what you do? You go back and you go back making focus into the money. How about you learn to be both at the same time? Using your spirituality with your material world, put them together and fall forward. Go forward, create. Any more preguntas, questions?
Pregúntale a la pregunta. A mí ya se me
Clarity
olvidó.
there as far as what
So in that retrograde or whatever this is happening when you get into that mind F that I call it, the mind F, and you feel like many times you're just sitting there, you're just walking, you just minding your own business, and suddenly, Papa! Here comes a freaking stinking thinking, and you're like, what the? It's like,
You gotta coach yourself on
or
this.
is it that I am empath, or is it empath situation?
It all depends of the situations, the way it is. So, for example, if
I'll
you
give you an
work with
example.
them, we witnessed, okay?
I'm working. I'm in a very nice neighborhood. I'm working for Popeyes, and I walk into a place, and I'm the only one who has a different color. So right away, I get bombarded with 1,000 thoughts of racism. I'm like, what the hell am I getting this from? You know? And I
Okay.
feel totally uncomfortable. And I see a person come in, a white person come into a black people's establishment, and then so this F, this N, this F, and I'm like, what the hell is going on with my head? And then I'm thinking, but I'm not racist, but I love people, I love everyone, but so why am I getting these things in my head? And it's like, it torments the crap out of me. And I'm like, okay, chill, balance, it's not you. You're not thinking that way because you love them, you love everyone, and you have no racism in you. And so, and it's like exhausting. I fight with that thought so much.
So, if you actually picture yourself, your environment, you're in a black neighborhood, what is the toxic energies there? Yeah, what the environment?
Oh,
So you feel your environment that you are. And guess what? Because you feel the energies around and so on, especially if you go to the ghettos, that's kind of like situations in there. And here you go, it comes in a white guy. Everyone is just looking at him if there is a racist situation. And you feel that energy. You need to understand one thing about racism, okay? Those are people who don't know how to love. And it's not your fault you're only feeling the energies.
Because you're wearing the environment.
Yes,
That's what
you're
I tell
worried
them,
about
right?
the
Yeah, because
environment.
I go through that
And it
too.
comes in
It's
from
not
the
you,
empathy
but-
that you feel this
Yeah.
energy.
Yes.
You feel the reality the way it is. People may not talk about this. People maybe don't say a word about it.
Mhm.
You just feel that energy, because some people think like somebody else's fault. Okay? There is so many discussions in this and about it. But as I said, in order you to be united in there within all these situations, okay, you have to look at both sides of the issues. Okay? You can't have the one be racist towards the other. Okay? As I see it here a lot. We have so many right here. I mean, I got Bulgarian, I got Gypsy in me, I got Jewish, I believe, in me, I got all kind of like.
How do you give an empath an ant if I?
So
it's ridiculous.
And guess what? In Bulgaria,
Hearts are
okay.
beating.
In Bulgaria,
It's like all
my roommate,
freaked out right away. You know?
my roommate is a Muslim. We live together. I respect him. He doesn't eat pork. Okay, I eat pork. We have no problems with all that. We respect the differences within each other. But when people don't respect their differences, that is the problem. Who doesn't respect the differences? Ego, mind, society, environment. Ah, okay.
Can I validate your
Sure.
thoughts and your feelings? I want to validate them because I understand what it is to be an empath and to walk in an establishment and feel everything that everybody is saying, and you feel that negativity like a wall,
Yeah.
and you just feel like you're an alien. You feel like you're outnumbered. You
And
feel
more.
alone.
I'm below.
Very
Way below.
hypersensitive to that. I can identify with you, and I commend you for being able to acknowledge that and recognize that, and being able to now know how to deal with it differently will be the key for you to be able to do that at any time in the future that you find yourself in that same predicament. Because there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, it's not him at all. I have something to add to this though.
I would love to hear more about it. I just have to get Valeria.
Pero hold
Oh,
on.
go ahead.
You have 2 minutes.
No, I don't.
Yes, let's hold that beautiful thought.
No, you
because
have to go. Yeah,
it's
you're right.
a very valid concern that
Yeah, it's
that
really
very valid concern that we need to learn how to navigate.
But he says the opposite, guys. This is what is happening to him. Like when I empath, I hear what everybody's thinking or feeling, mainly feeling. But he has the opposite.
Negative.
Like he hears, like if somebody thinks, he thinks the complete opposite. A lot of times, it's happened to me. With
Yeah,
him.
but that it's coming in because you're accepting it, that feelings of the other person like yours.
Like he goes
And all of
into
a
the
sudden you
neighborhood
become the
instead of-
person.
Oh.
Yeah, and why have
hard.
you
I see.
practiced
That it's
wearing a
coming.
shield?
I
You
have
gotta
explained to him, pero
It's not
sometimes
only
he-
about the shield, because if you understand the way of processing it, of the thinking going on ever, when you start feeling like this is not mine. This is why we have to look at it divergent. Okay?
You can change it in a second, and just
When
by
at the
saying
moment
that,
by saying
yes.
it that it's
Yes.
not mine,
Yeah.
because it's not yours. In a reality, it's not yours.
I do that all the time. I say, this does not belong to me, and it just stops.
I explained to him, I told him that, but he had a problem with the attachment when he was little. So then he still goes back into it. This is why I tell him, don't look back.
Well, so he's
Move forward.
self-sabotaging. That's
Yeah.
just sabotage.
It's like, I don't know, like he's getting it, but it's taking a little bit of time for him.
Because it's
He'll get
triggering
it.
stuff
You
in his
know.
past.
And I tell him, you
Then
can
he
choose.
has to
It's like
jump.
when you turn off a helicopter, the hélice, no sé cómo se dice hélice en
Yeah.
Do you know how the empathy begins?
Oh boy.
The empathy begins when you're missing things. You become sensitive to what you're missing. And once you understand what it's missing, you begin to develop it for it because you understand it. And I say the power of the empath. And later on we're going to be talking about the wounded empath. Okay? So the new energies is going to be asking you to heal the wounded empath in some way. And this is going to be a powerful message that we're going to have later on. Any of you have some questions about this Mercury retrograde more? All right, I want to leave you with one thing. When a Mercury shifts direct, stay in that zone that you're understanding, you're receiving messages, information, it's kind of to put your hand together later on. That's all. Don't refrain of actions. Don't start anything new. Don't begin anything new things. Don't make any harsh financial decisions. Don't do any kind of life-changing, yes, but also don't do things like I don't care about this, I don't care about that. If there is something very important in life, it's one thing. How can I make a decision about this right now? Let me think about it. Okay? Because you may have situations that comes to you right in here. For example, somebody calls you and puts you like, do you want this job? Do you want this promotion? Do you want all this? This could be at a trap pit right here. And you say, you know what, let me think about it. And you see what's going on here. And then when you think a little bit, it's the same point of the path. The only thing it is the timeline stopped to get you back and to go forward. Yes.
When you're in station retrograde
Right here.
and you're at Z because we're getting all the downloads,
Yes.
is that the point that we can do the confirmation? Because that's what
No.
I'm compelled to do is when I get the downloads to confirm.
No.
No.
That is when you actually begin to get the downloads. If this is like here, I'm going to give you an example. Book. Here, I'm giving you the book. I'm coming to you at some point and it says like, here's the book, read it. You take the book, you read it. And then you come back to me, it's like, Dio, thank you for the book. This helps me in my life. This changed my perspective about everything. Okay? But if I give you the book, you're in this Zen mode, and you're not doing the actions required to read the book. And you're just like, oh, well, thank you. I'm trying to be smart. And you're just getting from this point Z to this point Z. It's like, I don't need this book. I already know what's going on. Guess what? You're missing all this.
So
That's what a lot of the people, they try to be,
confirm the lesson.
yeah, they have to be the smart things. The lessons, you don't know what the lessons is. It could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 lessons. Okay? It all depends on the situations. If you're looking for a confirmations about the lessons, the download,
Yeah.
you gotta go ahead and read the download. There's gonna be a confirmations when you read the book. It's like, oh my God.
Then it'll be clear and
Ah, there you go.
clarity.
That is when you get the clarity. But if you never open up the book and the questions that it's there, oh, funny. Can I read it? Can I read it a little bit?
Yeah.
Now, when a person actually receives those downloads and the lessons you feel are for somebody else, how can we distinguish that between?
I don't think they
And
give you
that's
lessons for
something
somebody
that
else.
we've always had. I've always had downloads or messages.
Yeah, but if you don't work the downloads,
Mhm.
how you gonna understand them if you didn't work it out? You may read it, the book, if you didn't did an
I
action script.
won't, because I don't understand them because they're not meant for me.
How do you know they're not meant for you? Maybe you're self-sabotaging yourself, you don't look for what they are. How about they were specifically for you, but you're trying to do this right here. You try to be in this Zen mode, this Z. situations right here. And guess what? You're self-sabotaging yourself. All this.
But at that moment,
How do you know it's not for you?
I'm gonna tell you something really
because somebody
quickly.
comes
I got
along
that
and
book.
identifies.
I got that book, and I was supposed to read it. I did not read it, and Dio is giving it back to me. Dio is giving it back to me. I did not read it. That's self-sabotage.
But at that moment, somebody